Hello everyone, welcome to Summer Update stream for Alien Horizon. As always, we're going to look over the changelog, see what's new in the next update, and I will release the update during the stream, and I will probably play the game for a moment, for like an hour or so to cool it off a bit. Music is too loud. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make it quieter. So you can, other than that, you can hear me well. Is it okay now? Yeah, and yeah, um, there will also be space for questions. There's already one. You probably already said somewhere, but I wasn't able to find it. Did you make the game music? If not, then where is it from? It's actually from an asset pack. I didn't make the music, but I would like to have original music in the rewrite eventually. Probably not in the initial release. Anyway, what I also wanted to say that I hope you already know that this is the last update for preview alpha. From now on, I would like to focus fully on the rewrite. There will still be devlogs in the news section of the preview alpha, and there may still be some very minor bug fixes and very minor improvement updates. And that's probably the rewrite is currently scheduled for January. I usually until now I was usually talking about November, but honestly that's unrealistic now. So January is more likely. I'm thinking about making it release on the second anniversary of preview alpha releasing on Steam, which was on the 30th of January. So we'll see how that works. It would be nice. So yeah, let's go to the changelog. Yeah, the most significant change or the most major feature that was added in this version is a way to customize the difficulty. So here you can customize a bunch of settings for the game that you start. You could already change latitude that was moved here, but you also can move like number of deposits, hope, construction speed, maintenance costs, and it tells you in the tooltip whichever where the value is increasing or decreasing difficulty. But there's also colors, so you can easily see that if you increase the grade of deposits, it makes the game easier, and if you lower it, it makes the game harder. And there's a huge disclaimer here. I did not properly test the balance for all of these settings, so adjust at your own risk. This is mostly for players who already played the game a bunch, and either the game was too difficult or too easy for them. So you can adjust it here. Yeah. And you can, if you don't know what the default value was, we can just reset it here. So yeah, that's the most important feature. Other than that, let's make a sandbox game and I'll show the other stuff. There's new structures, as usual. In every update there's new structures. So there's a large construction office now. It looks like this. It's basically a slightly bigger version of the construction office. There's 3 times as many workers, as you can see here. 3 times as many. I also slightly changed the model of the old construction office to make it make it more streamlined with the new one, but that's just a minor change. So yeah, you can unlock this with research, and it provides a lot more construction workers. And you can actually upgrade the construction office into a large construction office, but the work has to be done by some other construction office because this isn't functional during the upgrade. Then we have large stockpile and large. Oh, sorry. Something happened. Oh, I'm sorry. The game just crashed. I've seen this crash before and I was not able to figure out what it was, unfortunately, so I couldn't fix it in time, but I don't think it's connected to any of the changes to this. At least I hope so. And if it is, I hope to... Yeah, great beginning. I hope to fix this in a hotfix if there's any. So yeah, it works now. I hope it doesn't happen every time, but this isn't the first time I've seen it. So we'll see. There may be another hotfix after this. So yeah, this is the large stockpile, which can store 50,000 units of stones from materials waste resources. I have never had a demo crash on me, you believe me, don't you? Yeah. It's not a very stable game, honestly, and I hope to improve it with the rewrite. There's a lot of stuff that isn't written very well, honestly. But yeah, I would like to not spend that much more time on the old version because it doesn't have much of a future now because the rewrite will basically replace it. So yeah, I hope this crash doesn't happen again or not too much, and if it does, I will take a look into it. So there's the large conveyor stockpile, the same thing just with a conveyor. 3,000 resources, but you can connect it to the conveyors. Another new structure is the massive pressure vessel. It looks like this. It's complementary to the massive storage tank. It can store 8,000 cubic meters of resources and has 3 pipe connections. So you can actually daisy chain them easily, like this. And they're not like this. Damn it. That was slightly different here. This is where it's supposed to go. Yeah, you can chain them together, or like this would be another one. Yeah, at least it's not on the pedestal level of barely working. Well, it kind of is. It is barely working. I'm not very proud of the preview alpha at this point. And actually I never was. It was always crashy. But yeah, I hope the preview alpha is written better. I'm trying to make it better. And then there's Park, which is a bigger version of the small Park. You can compare them like this. It's basically the same thing, except it has higher capacity and it needs research to unlock. And finally there's a restaurant, which is the same thing as a canteen, except it also provides some social needs and relaxation need for anyone who visits it, but it needs more workers. So it's not strict upgrade is just if you have enough workers, you can make life easier or more pleasant for your colonists with the restaurant. It has the same capacity as the canteen, so the services are the only difference, and also it's slightly more expensive. Then there are some new technologies that are for the new buildings. Ecosystem maintenance is for the park, and large crew organization is for the large construction office. Then we have a bunch of UX improvements, which I'm going to show off in when I load a game, and I'm going to do it now. And I'm actually going to do this thing first, the technical stuff. I adjusted the contrast and saturation during night scenes to make them more night-like, because I was never very happy with the way night looked before. But one of my friends who is also a game dev and has some experience with this gave me some advice to make the night look better. So I did it, and this is what night looks like now. It's slightly less saturated and has more contrast, so the windows pop up more and the colors just don't look as weird as they did before. Is the large park considered another structure by the citizens or the same as small park? What I mean is that will that help with the nature bonus, and somehow people tend to do other activity in general because they seem to prioritize different types of buildings. The large park or the regular park is considered the same structure as the small park for these purposes. It's basically just a bigger version of it. They consider it the same building. Yeah, and I'm glad you like the night. I spent quite a few hours adjusting the levels to make it look better. I think it actually helps with it looks darker, and yet it makes everything easier to see, which is kind of weird, but that's the kind of the kind of feeling I have from it, which is good for gameplay too. So yeah. And then there are the UX improvements. There's the new notification pin that's right here. You can see that right now my chemistry schools are at 83% of capacity. So if I look into it, there are only 2 spots left. There's only 1 chemistry lab. So now you know in advance that you're going to run out, and you can improve your situation with schools before you actually run out. And it works for basic schools too, like for the schools right now. This school is not full enough, so it doesn't show up. But previously, it only showed you when there were actually students that didn't have schools. That when you actually completely ran out of space in schools. Now it tells you when you're at 80% of capacity. Then there's a new resource. There's a new tooltip when you mouse over a mine's resource. You can see here that it produces 1.3 thousand iron ore per season, and it also tells you in the tooltip that it's estimated that the resources will last until for 8.9 years at current mining rate. So you know when you're going to run out, and that you should build more mines. Maybe it's even more visible on even better visible on the mining drills here. Like this is going to be depleted in 2.5 years. Then there's also a new notification for stores, services, and clinics. Like you can see here that the community center is at 78% usage, and it tells you that service usage is near capacity. So you now know that you should probably build more community centers because you're about to, or rather, the colonists may not be able to get this service because the peak usage is at 100%, which means at times it's actually completely full, and the average usage is 78%. So the people, it may actually be very close to as much as is physically possible to fit in the capacity. So you should really build more of these buildings. It also works for canteens, it works for stores, it works for the clinic, which before only told you that it was completely full and that there were people waiting. Now it also tells you when the average usage is very high. So yeah, that should also help. And a minor improvement is that when you change the law to not use palm oil, to only reserve palm oil for industry, it no longer counts here in the status bar as food stored, which caused some issues when you had a lot of palm oil and you thought that you had food, but you didn't actually. So yeah, that's all of the UX improvements. Then there's the technical and one small balance change. Now the silos can also store ores, which previously I didn't think that was important, but feedback from players told me that they probably should. There's no reason that they shouldn't be able to be stored in silos. Regarding mine information, telling how long before it is depleted. What if to drill the same resource? Does it show depletion time considering both or only the ones selected? Unfortunately, only the ones selected because they don't know about each other. But maybe in the rewrite I will try to make the tooltip better and more context sensitive. But it should work fine for mines that don't overlap. It's still useful, I'd say. Like for these large deposits that may be more difficult to calculate in your head. And then there's a bunch of bug fixes. Nothing really stands out. I fixed some random crashes also. I hope that the crash that we had during the stream is one of random crashes that doesn't happen that often, but we'll see. Oh yeah, well, actually there is one or rather two that are noteworthy. Previously, when you demolished the central structure that had units like a community center, which has these classroom units and the communal wing units, and you didn't demolish the units before, when the community center itself was demolished, it removed the units, even though they weren't supposed to be demolished, which isn't great because you lost all the resources in them. And a related bug was that when the unit was under construction or under deconstruction, colonists were trying to enter the central building through the units, and then they complained that the unit that they arrived in didn't have any life support and they could suffocate or dehydrate and even die. So that shouldn't happen anymore. Now they actually have to enter through the if they actually have to enter through the central unit uh, when the unit is under construction or deconstruction. So that no longer happens. And when you deconstruct, the main structure waits for all the units if they're not deconstructed. So you will get all the resources from it, but it will not disappear. You won't be able to build anything there, unfortunately, but that's the units wouldn't be able to work without the central structure anyway, so you should demolish them anyway. It doesn't matter. All right, and that's all from the changelog. So this would be the best time to ask any questions. Now I'm going to prepare the update now. Give me a few minutes. Have you fixed suffocation in logistic garage that are disabled? Yes, that's exactly the bug I was talking about. That oh wait, disabled. Actually, not disabled. Only when they're under construction. Sorry. With disabling, it's a bit more complicated because I don't want to restrict movement in disabled structures. But I hope to fix this in the rewrite. Unfortunately, in preview alpha, the options to restrict movement are very limited. But in rewrite, it's much better. Okay, so H first. Should be done. Can you show your new biggest colony? I actually haven't played that much to show. I haven't made any very large colonies on this update. This is actually the largest one, only 1600 people. Okay, and now Steam. Okay. Let me also do it on Discord. And Patreon should be automatic, but I actually have to edit it. Okay. All right. So, if anyone can test whether the update went through on Steam, I would be grateful. It should automatically update now, but I can never be sure with Steam. Just fetched it, nice. Okay, so now I'm going to play the game for a while. Another question that you probably already answered somewhere. On the rewrite is here, are you planning to properly start selling it or keep it free to play? I would like to keep it free to play with donations, just like it is now. From the donations that people have made during the preview alpha, I think it's optimistic that it will actually be successful enough even with just the donations. But in case it isn't, I do have a plan that maybe some of the basic game will be free, and there may be some DLCs in the future, but that depends on how successful the donations are. We'll see. But the base game will definitely be free, and there should be a lot in the base game, more than is in preview alpha. In the rewrite, do you plan some bigger public transport systems like big buses or trains? Definitely trains. Those are planned. So let's start a new game. And maybe I could play on some lower difficulty to make it go a bit faster. What do you think? Like increase the construction speed a bit to like 10. Increase power production so we don't have to build as many solar arrays and stuff. From my limited tests, I have found out that about 20% increase, or rather 20% decrease in difficulty makes the game very easy. So while you can like decrease difficulty significantly, I don't think it's really necessary to do it that much. I hope isn't really going to take. Isn't going to matter in the short term. We're only going to play for like an hour. This doesn't really matter. Let's increase the burst rate. Although I don't know how much it's going to matter in an hour or so. And we can decrease the research costs significantly, so we have more to play with. And maybe the grade of deposits. Once the game is started, can you see which difficulty setting was selected at the start? Yes, I forgot to show that. I'm going to show it right now when the game loads. So we have a decent start, and here you can see that what kind of difficulty you had. You can't change it, but you can take a look. So let's build some stuff. Oh, this isn't a great sulfur deposit, but it will do. Oh, there's another one here. It should be fine. So let's build prefab survey office, like here. Utility lines to it. Team update is definitely up. I have a large stockpile in my game. Nice. I hope it doesn't crash when you select it. Let's build some solar arrays. Let's put them here. Some energy storage here. Connected with this. And some turbines. I always build them here, because this is usually slightly higher than the rest of the map. And let's go. Random questions. You said on us that the rewrite will be easier to mod. Can you slightly expand on that? Will it be almost the same as current modding, but without having to inject changes into JSON every update? Or will it be something else? Oh. I don't know what but it's doing fine. Oh no, this one is stuck. Wow. All the bugs today. Wow. Let's hope it's going to fix itself eventually. Yeah, it should. Regarding modding, it should be. The definitions actually support having files that append or edit existing files, so you don't have to change the file itself. You can just create a new file that has the edits and appends in it, or even removals. And yes, save the game or have a You know what? I'm going to save and reload. That usually fixes it. Yeah. So yeah, the you can have uh, files that append. Oh, it didn't fix itself. Wow. So maybe the terrain here is somehow weird. Is this one? Or the terrain here is weird. If I reset it, it doesn't help. Well, I'm going to... You know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a new game. And I will keep this safe so I can fix this bug. Because bugs are always much more easier to fix when you have a save that or yeah, I can try with the solar panel. No, doesn't work. But at least it is going to be easier to reproduce. So expect a hotfix sometime next week with this bug hopefully fixed. Would be funny if this bug will persist between saves. I hope not. So yeah, this actually takes the difficulty from the last game you played, so it remembers. So we just have to confirm and start a new game. So yeah, with the save, it should be very easy to fix. And where was I with the mod? Yeah, you have files that can edit other files, so you can just leave them be. And when you update the game, it will also apply to the new one. And as long as it's compatible, that there aren't so many changes that it would no longer the edit would no longer make sense, it should work. And I would also like to make it possible to make some scripting changes, but honestly I don't have a lot of experience with script modding. I will probably have to ask some modders about it to make it work better. But if my understanding is correct, you should only need to uh, load the libraries of the script mod, and it should work as long as there's modding API, which there is going to be. Okay, so yeah, let's make a new plan for the colony. This and yeah, the solar arrays. Let's put them in the south, like here. Not here because block. This should be enough. And some wind turbines to connect them like this. Okay. Also lower this. I hope my explanation wasn't too chaotic. Oh yeah, I should also change the scene to this. The changelog isn't important anymore. All right. So you can see that like now the solar array only needs one worker because worker now does 10 progress on a construction site. Do some surveying. and wake up some workers. And yeah, when you have increased construction speed, you actually don't know what to build because of everything built so fast. I'm actually used to some pace of building, and it really changes it when I play with different difficulty. Let's also merge some rocks. We're going to need it in the future. We can build some more solar arrays if we have nothing to do. And now we can do some mining drills. It's going to be difficult to connect. Let's build a concrete plant next to it, and let's also do up a bunkhouse like here. We don't need stockpile, and we can also include some exploration. This is why I like to play on 5 times speed, so things are so fast and I don't need to pause that much. It's better to... It's just more smooth when you don't play on the maximum speed and then pause every time something happens. Okay, now we have water. We can actually build the mining drill for water right now because everything builds so fast. What else? Okay, exploration. Now we should know where Luna is. Okay. But we can include all the others. We're going to need them anyway. No pausing is also better for streaming potential. Yeah, I actually, whenever I watch streamers, it's really distracting that when they play on max speed and then pause every time and then play again on max speed and then pause. It just, I don't know. I prefer playing slower and not pausing as much. But everyone has different preference. So now you can see the night more desaturated. It took some it took some time to they get used to it, but I definitely prefer it now. We can actually build 2 concrete plants, and in preparation we can actually build another mining drill, and then move the tankers, move the concrete plants. We're going to need them very soon. Deposits are really hard to see during the night. Well, you can when you survey deposits, you can always increases the light of the train, so it's not that important. And you can also enable the high contrast deposits. That also always makes them much more visible. So if you have high contrast deposits and set survey and have the survey overlay, I think they're still very well visible. Okay, what else can we build? We already built the bunkhouse. Everything's so fast. Let's build another bunkhouse. We're going to need it anyway, because we want to wake up a lot of people. This was finished too fast. What else? Well, we were waiting for the water. Yet another question question. Are you planning to add custom terrain generation into the rewrite, such as ability to make flatter terrain or larger lakes? I talked about having more than one planet, and each of the planets should have different terrain generation. And of course, the planets will be moddable too. Yeah, the high contrast option has been there for several updates, and I know that a lot of people really like it. I personally don't need it, but I understand why people want to have it. So each of the planets should have different terrain. So it should be up to your preference which planet you play on. Although there are other considerations than just the terrain. But yeah, there you can just mod another planet if you want. Okay, what are we waiting for now? The water and the sulfur. Is there anything we want to build? Yeah, we can build more concrete plants. Not here, just like here. It's connected just in case. And we could also move some buildings from here because we have time. Let's move all of the buildings. Right. Is terraforming going to be just playing with lakes, or I could accidentally make the atmosphere breathable by smelting too much ore? No terraforming, unfortunately, or rather, well, not unfortunately. I think there are enough games about terraforming already, and the scale of the colony just doesn't make sense. You can put into the atmosphere any amount of gases you want, and it's not going to put any dent into the planet's atmosphere because the colony is just so small. So yeah, I would like the game to focus on other things than terraforming. Terraforming in this game would probably be just landscaping with nuclear warheads. Yeah. So you have to make do with landscaping, which is going to be probably more difficult in the rewrite in some ways because there's now rocks that you have to use explosives for. Is there ever going to be a reason to not use the wake needed button? Well, I know that some people actually do select the colonies they want to wake up. I don't know why, but yeah, you pretty much don't have to select them if you don't want to. Domes for living. We'll see, but currently there are no plans for like big domes. Nons told us that we will eventually be able to burn unusable waste. I was expecting in this update. Is the incinerator going to be in the rewrite? Yes, the incinerator will be in the rewrite. It's actually not going to be a special building. It will be part of a power plant. It will produce some power. But because there are reasons why I didn't make the power plant in preview alpha. It's going to be only in the rewrite. What did we unlock? Yeah, the storage tanks. Let's put them here. What else? And the electrolysis plant. Put it like here. We have something to build. I personally avoid wake needed when I just educate. When I need just educated, so the automated picks doesn't pick physics colonies by mistake. Aren't hub domes a bit too sci-fi? This game seems more grounded. Granted, agricultural and garden domes are in already. Yeah, well, it's not really about realism. Although the domes that would be so big that you would be able to put buildings into them would probably be unrealistically large, or at least they would need some kind of support, not like in Surviving Mars. Although on the other hand, Surviving Mars has the reason for it that Mars has lower gravity, so technically they would probably be possible on Mars, but it's just not the how do I say it, the direction I want to take the game. I may add the domes someday in the future, but it's definitely not priority, and I don't plan to have them. Streets kind of fill that niche, at least in my opinion. Yeah, they kind of do. I think the streets work better with that, especially in the rewrite where the airlocks are going to be much more versatile. Because right now streets are kind of stupid because of the airlocks. What else can we build? Let's slow down so I can actually have time to play the game and answer the questions at the same time. What did I want to build? Yeah, this should be in a moment. I don't know why people choose which citizens to wake up. Waking up younger people makes the retirement crisis come later. It also helps to fill the holes in the pyramid age, have more stable colony. You can also choose to keep a specific type of specialist to fill on any job. This way you can save them for later. Yeah, people do have reasons to do that. I personally think that's too much micromanagement, but the option is here. Do as you will. Okay. Will we be able to throw out the garbage into large enough lakes? No way to throw out garbage. You'll have to put it either in stockpiles, and there are some really big stockpiles now. You do have the large stockpile, or you have to burn it or use it for something. You can use stones to fill up lakes. Although actually landscaping isn't implemented in the rewrite yet. But it will be in the initial version of the rewrite. Is a single sulfur tile in the iron deposit? Yeah, it is. It can happen, actually. I can tell you exactly how this thing happens if you're interested. If you're interested, the iron deposit is degenerated first, and it has this hole in it, and then by complete chance, the algorithm that makes the sulfur deposit picks up this single tile, and because the deposit have to be can have more parts than one, it has to be, what is the word, consecutive, something like that. It can't continue here, so it picks some other place. Contiguous, yes, it has to be contiguous, and so it picks up some other place in the same sector, and it continues there. And so it made one single tile of sulfur here, and then continued somewhere here, and added all the tiles that were missing. This is really generous in this game, so I'd not worry too much about piling up waste. Yeah, stockpiles are super cheap and require almost no maintenance. It's basically like throwing stuff out in the wild. it's generous for now. Yeah, I mentioned the lakes will reduce that. On some maps, yes. But on most maps, you have a lot of space. I don't think that lack of space is going to be major issue on most planets. Or at least I don't plan it to be an issue on most planets. What else can we build? I always get lost when I get distracted. Yeah, we got agriculture research, oxygen security. We're working on that. Oh yeah, we can build another survey office. Like I don't know here. We don't have enough storage space because I didn't set this. We're searching. You'd have a whole planet and not that many people. Oh, you're not going to have... You won't be able to build on a whole planet, but the map is large enough. It's smaller than in Preview Alpha, but it's still very big. We're missing concrete, that should be soon. Let's build some more... no. Large solar array. Like here. And continue this way. Because we're probably not going to continue the colony this way. Let's put some storages here. Connect everything. A question that definitely isn't a follow-up to the previous one. Will nuclear power still generate unusable waste, or will there be proper nuclear waste? I'm still thinking about it. The problem with nuclear waste is that you generate it right from the start from the reactor. And if I do make nuclear waste, I do want it to have special considerations for storage. I don't want it to be just lying around in a warehouse. But at the start you just wouldn't have anywhere to store it. Although I guess it could be solved by having some small storage for nuclear waste in the reactor itself. We'll see. It's something I am considering. Okay, let's plan some life support. Like here. Storage tanks, and yeah, it's something like this. We can not this. We can plan. I really like this layout. This, because it's great for the warehouse, for the greenhouses. You'll see when I actually build the greenhouses. Let's unpause all of this and connect it. Okay. So now they should have something to build. Let's transfer all the necessary resources. We still need concrete for this too. And if they have nothing to do, they could demolish some rocks too, because we're going to need them for those 4 concrete plants. Didn't know about auto transfer. That's going to save a lot of time. It should probably have a tutorial, honestly. But in the rewrite, I'm not sure if there's still going to be auto transfer like this button, because I'm thinking that if I can manage to make it work well automatically, I may actually make it so that the trucks will automatically fetch resources that are needed from the cargo ships. Oh, I noticed that there's also some questions on Discord. Suggestion: start with some mining charges. Early on those rock clusters can be a pain. If you urgently need that spot, a mining charge can help clear things up immediately, otherwise go the slow boring way. Interesting idea, I'll think about it. Terraforming system and possibility to install pipes underground and through routes on top and behind buildings if nothing like that has been done by now. You can actually... I don't know if this person is actually watching the stream, honestly. I should probably reply to them on Discord too, but after the stream. But for the stream, and the rewrite already has pipes and conveyors that can go in multiple levels, not underground, but above ground. So there are options already in the rewrite, but not in preview alpha because that's a lot of rewriting that I had to do. Okay, so we're waiting for this. Is there anything else we can build in the meantime? Oh yes, the hydrogenation plant. We need this too. Let's start with methane. Because I remember we found shuttle here. And we now found also another ship. And we're exploring. There's actually a lot of stuff to build now. Now it's starting to take them some time. Okay, we need people for the biology lab and the hydrogenation, and we actually ran out of space. Should build more bunkhouses. Let's build 2 of them immediately. And we can take a look at research. You can see that we decreased the research cost, so this only costs 100 now. Yes, hydrogenation to speed up the shuttle. Build the shuttle and speed up construction. That's the plan. Speed up this. We don't run out. Water and wastewater. Did I set this too high? I didn't. Okay, we should have... Where was the shuttle? Here. Should have some oxygen and methane soon. Get the shuttle. This should have priority because we're at maximum life support. So the next batch of concrete should go to the ancillary. It's only at 50%, yeah, we're missing person. Okay, are you bringing methane? Yes. Okay, we can rebase it. I usually rebase them wherever the main construction office isn't, so that it's more spread out. Yeah, we are out of life support, so people are unhappy. But this should be done very soon. Where are the workers actually? Yeah, they're doing the stones. Thought some of them moved away. Also this. It's not that critical. I think it will wait for the next shift. People don't die from suffocation that fast. We're missing some people. We don't have enough space for everyone. This needs to finish soon. Oh, I actually screwed up this layout. It's supposed to be like this. Okay. Expanded life support, nice. Now we can build a community center. Let's build it here, along with doctor's office, because that's usually needed to keep this from overloading too fast. And we don't need that many doctors. We do need the bunkhouse, but that should be very soon. We have a lot of power because of the bonus from difficulty. Not enough air, just hold your breath. Yeah, for a few hours. Oh yeah, we're missing the stone. It's good we're demolishing this. So now it's just these. And then it's steel, I think. So let's throw away these deposits. I already built some of the infrastructure towards it. We can then build the mines. Not enough storage space for the methane. Actually, wasn't there another shuttle? Yes. Let's refuel it. But I'm going to change this to methane, just in case we don't actually have enough space. Going to take a while until the surveyors come back to survey this. Should have done that sooner. Is there anything I can do in the meantime? Actually, I can just build. Oh yeah, I know what I can build. I can build the furnaces in the meantime. But they're not going to have enough ore, so let's just turn them on. And we already have enough research points because it's super fast. Atmosphere processor for nitrogen. Yes, but I don't think it's necessary to build it this early. I almost screwed up this, but I didn't. It's perfect. So let's build the greenhouse in the meantime. And we're definitely going to need more water mining drills. Let's survey some more water. And here. Oh, we'll wait for it. There's enough to... Oh yeah, and we should also move this shuttle so we have more people to work. Like here. More workers. This is waiting for concrete. Actually, the greenhouse isn't that important right now because it's going to take a while before we get enough research points for the plants, for the crops. So it would just sit idle anyway. There are more important things to build. So let's build another mining drill. Need steel. Maybe boost concrete production to 150%. That rarely works when you don't have enough morale, because when you increase workload above 100%, you give them some you lower their morale, and then they actually don't produce anymore. So it's not worth it usually, in my experience. Unless you have a lot of morale and health, then it can be worth it. Oh yeah, and this is finished, so we can build some mining drills. How many would we actually need? Let's see. So that's 160, so 480, and so we need 6. And a bunch of uneven terrain. So like this work. And let's bring all the resources. We're also going to need more people, so let's build more bunkhouses. Probably 2 of them. In my experience it works, but only in early game stage. I don't like when I have to make my workers slave for me. I'm not like that. So I generally don't use it. Okay, so this is going to be great for the radio tower. So even when it actually would work, I don't use it usually. You make options that you never plan to use. Of course, because other people play it differently than I do. I want to provide options to everyone. And to make the game fun, I have to also give the player option to do some stupid things. I got a worker and I'm going to use entire worker. Great migration to the community center. Yeah, every time I built the community center, when I built the first community center, there's a huge migration towards it because people are hungry for community. We're probably going to play until I get to short-term survival. Should be about correct amount of time. How much I planned to stream. Okay, yeah, we can also build some stockpiles because we're going to need them for iron ore and sulfur and bones in general. So it should be sulfur, high priority, but logistics priority. That's how I usually do. Here will be stones. This iron ore. Oh yeah, here. Okay. And we need more people for the mining drills. Good thing we're just finishing the bunghouses. And so once we get first iron ore, then we're going to turn on the steel making furnaces. Are we on power? Oh, yeah, I think it's fine. Lots of stuff finished. Regarding the overload of production, I have some plans for how it's going to work in the river, right? And I'm going to actually implement that soon. And if you really want to exploit your workers a lot, you're going to have a lot of options. Even more than now. Okay, once again, we don't have anything to build. Oh, we're going to need another electrolysis. And this one, yeah, hydrogen only. Because otherwise we have too much oxygen. What else can we build? Oh, we're going to need a second greenhouse sooner or later, so they can just start on that. This should be even a lower priority. Okay. Should probably also send shuttle to build a radio tower. But we're going to wait a bit longer for this to be explored. And I think we're going to need the second life support soon. So let's start it. And the way this layout works, you actually can build two more greenhouses like this I think it works really well. Here you have some more space for tanks, and you have 2 ancillaries for greenhouses. As long as you don't use legumes in them, it should be enough water recycling. So I usually do 2 to potatoes and 2 vegetables, and the legumes have to wait until I get better life support. Okay, we have first iron ore. So this is going to be soon. Here we only need water. Working on that. Oh, where's our idol? Oh, looks like the mountain is going even higher, so let's see. Oh yeah, and now that we have the doctor's office, we should turn off mild cases and medical chests here, so that they only do severe cases. That way they don't get overloaded as much. And the mild cases and medical checks can be done at the doctor's office. This should be done pretty quickly. Or soon rather. Is there anything we could do to make the rewrite come sooner? 6 months without a single release. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I hoped that the November would work out. But unfortunately it had to be postponed. Maybe I'll do a little update for somewhere in between. We'll see, but honestly I don't want to spend any more time on preview alpha. But I would like to show off more of the rewrite in 3 months during the autumn. By that point it should be at least somewhat playable. Right now it isn't. Doesn't even really have much of a UI. A lot of stuff under that needs to be done is under the hood, so there's not much that can be shown. Maybe a pre-alpha bugged rewrite release for fans. Well, it's not going to be playable for a long time still. I don't know what you would do with it. It may just make you disappointed because maybe you are going to have a lot of expectations. Okay, we have steel production. What else? Oh yeah, the atmosphere processor. We do want to build that. Funky track collision on the steel plants. Didn't notice that before. Huh? Okay, I'll take a look when they're actually there. The tracks were passing through steel plants. Yeah, it's possible. I know that there are pathfinding bugs, but it's probably not going to be a new bug because I didn't change anything in pathfinding. I really don't want to touch pathfinding in preview alpha anymore. Expectations. If the game doesn't crash in the first 3 minutes, is good enough. Well, anyway, take your time with the rewrite. Yeah, I'll take too much time with it. It was actually supposed to be done this spring, originally. Yeah, the rewrite is also crashy now, because I haven't been... Oh yeah, there's some weird passing right here. Wow. Because a lot of stuff is still unfinished. But that's to be expected in in an alpha. Well, it's not even alpha. It doesn't actually have it's not even playable. So crashes are expected. But that hopefully it should work itself out in the end. I don't know how familiar you all are with game development, so I don't know what your expectations of the rewrite would be if you saw it. We really need a lot more water. We should build more mining drills. Trucks still go through steel plants. Yeah, I noticed they also went through the life support ancillary. Doesn't matter that much right now. This is looks like this is a very buggy stream. Is the water storage number in red due to high consumption relative to storage? You mean this? Because the reserves are low, relatively, but it's going up. You can see the green arrows. It means it's going up. They're taking a small shortcut, yeah, through buildings. And this is at capacity, but right now that's not important. We're building other stuff. We want to have more water before we actually start producing potatoes. And then we should be able to just run past the short-term survival very quickly. Also need more oxygen, so I guess we'll do this. Is the food icon a pumpkin or an apple? It's supposed to be an apple. But these icons are definitely going to be changed in the rewrite. Probably all of the icons, but I haven't done that yet. Because like I said, the rewrite doesn't really have proper UI yet. Every time there's morning, I get so used to the saturated colors of the night that suddenly all the colors just pop out and it seems overly saturated. But that's just getting used to it. I've been in QA for years now. Preview alpha is astonishingly well put together. Really? Wow. I've been in QA too, and I wouldn't say that it's that well put together. Well, I mean, depends on how you define alpha, because the alpha releases that are not public, they usually are very buggy and crashy. But once you actually release it to public, technically, what I call preview alpha is not alpha, because alpha is on for internal use only, so it's more of a beta. But well, But I don't know. I always have very high expectations when it comes to my work. Comparatively, it is significantly better than what Starfield or X4 were on release. I haven't played Starfield or X4. I did play a bunch of early access games, but I'd say they usually weren't as buggy, but they were just as unfinished. And I also worked on Space Engineers, which was an early access game, but I would also say that, well, actually it did crash a lot, now that I think about it. And it was very slow. But that was actually because it didn't... because of my experience with Space Engineers, that Space Engineers actually went from being a prototype into a full game, like linearly. A bunch of stuff was just put together on top of the prototype, and then because of that the game was quite unstable and a lot of stuff couldn't be done for technical reasons. And that's why I decided to, instead of expanding the preview alpha, the current version, I decided to make the complete rewrite, because it really is needed at some point. After you make a prototype, you have to start over and do it properly. Otherwise, you are going to end up like Space Engineers. And as far as I know, the Space Engineers 2 is actually this complete rewrite. And that's why it doesn't have a lot of features. The scope of the latter two is bigger, so therefore is more room for error. Ever heard sorry, this is going too fast for me. By this point, X-Series being unplayable at release is a tradition. Okay. Ever heard of Hellion? Even after years of patches, reloading every half an hour is pretty much mandatory. I did hear of Hellion, but I've never played it. Played Hellion, best atmosphere ever, and latest versions worked well for me, but it was fairly buggy. But again, Alien Horizon is a single person's work, bringing it back again to impressive. Well, thank you. It is difficult to make a whole game like this on my own. Oh, actually we need more bunk houses. Sometimes I think I've bitten off way more than I can chew. I probably did. Sometimes I regret that I didn't make a smaller, easier game. I have plenty of ideas now for smaller and easier games, but I don't have time to make them because I'm making this. And this is going to take a couple more years to finish, so I don't know if I'm ever going to have enough time for the other project. I kind of consider this my life's work, because it's already taken so big part of my life that I'm definitely not going to forget it. The community fixes Hellion is now playable, but still playing for longer than half an hour means desync with game server and most likely will lead you in random direction at few kilometers per second. Yeah, I remember this kind of thing with Space Engineers. I actually worked on optimizing the multiplayer and a bunch, and I also did a lot of optimization that were that has something to do with physics, but I wasn't the person who made the physics. But yeah, I definitely understand how these things and eating kilometers per second happens. I had my share of that when I worked on Space Engineers. It was actually quite similar game to Helion. I do remember seeing Helion that it was kind of competition to Space Engineers, along with what was it called? Like Galactic Survival something. I also didn't play that, but I saw some Let's Plays. Do you ever plan to get help if your game becomes lucrative enough? I consider this to be art and not a business. So I actually, even if I do have enough money to pay someone to make stuff for me, I still want to do it myself because this is my project. I want it to be something from me. So yeah, it's I probably I'm going to just continue doing it until I'm happy with it. So yeah, short-term survival. We're here. So I guess we're going to finish the stream now. I'm going to leave a few more minutes for any questions. And then was I overwrote something? Okay, whatever. And then I'm going to leave the stream. Even artists sometimes have people do a large part of the work and they get all the credits. I don't want to get all the credits if someone helps me. If someone does help me, I want to credit them. I actually probably should put everyone who did any of the assets like the music and sound into credits. I should take a look into that. And probably all the patrons too, because they're helping me financially. Although the Patreon hasn't been great lately. The Steam revenue also actually has been going down, unfortunately. I may have to get a part-time job at least if the rewrite doesn't go as well and it takes too long, or if the release doesn't go well and turns out that there's not as much buzz around it. But I don't want to just end the stream on a pessimistic note. But whatever happens, I'd like to finish the game, even if it's not financially doing well. Yeah. So, well, you can look forward to more rewrite devlogs in the future. There's going to be one in 2 weeks. Thanks for the stream and updates and such. I hope things do keep going well. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching the stream, for all the questions. And I guess that's it. So next stream is probably going to be the release stream for the rewrite, probably in January. So I guess see you then. Bye.